जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जयो राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम। जयो राधे श्याम। जयो गौरानिताय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय। जयो गौरानिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So very happy to be here at Satsangi's family. Satsangi, your surname? Your surname?
Katpal.
Uh-huh.
Katpal is the surname.
Katpal family, Satsangi family. Yeah. So we are here to celebrate Sir's 70th birthday, which was just 2 days ago. So we wish him a very happy birthday and we pray to Lord that you can have a very long life, a very healthy life. So that's the occasion for which we all have come here. So I think this is the first satsang at your place also.
Yes.
One of our great acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explains in his bhajan, Jedine grihe bhajan deki grihe te goloko bhaya. He says, whenever there is a satsang arranged in the house, whenever devotees come and do kirtan katha, the house becomes a spiritual world. So the house is actually transformed into a very spiritual atmosphere. So it's very important that programs like this keep happening so that the vibrations are very, very positive, more than positive, very, very spiritual. It can have a lot of benefit even for the future generations, for your child and everyone. So we are very happy to be here. Hare Krishna. So today, because we are celebrating Sir's 70th birthday, so we thought we'll do a special topic called celebrating the journey of life. Right? Life itself is a very beautiful journey, a very beautiful opportunity given to us by God. If we can live life nicely, then it can be our offering to God. God has given us life, but it is also important that we live life in a right mood, in a right way, with certain principles in life. Recently, just last week I think, Gopal Prabhu was here in Kala Academy. He was giving a talk. So he was explaining that journey in Hindi or Urdu is called safar, right? Safar. And in English you have another word called suffer, S-U-F-F-E-R. So whether life is going to be suffer, a journey, or whether life is going to be suffering, it's all up to us how we, deal with life, the certain kinds of mindsets that we all develop in life. So today's little presentation that I'm going to do is based on a book called Becoming the Master of Your Dash. I don't know whether you have read this book. This is written by one very famous international motivational speaker called Peter Burwash. Have you ever heard about him? Peter Burwash? Not heard. At one time in the 70s, he was a very famous, internationally acclaimed tennis player. But in those days, he came in touch with Srila Prabhupada, who happened to be the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and he was very much influenced by the teachings of the Gita. And since then, he's practiced certain principles in his life, and he's teaching these principles out also, and he's written a lot of very beautiful books. So in this book called Becoming the Master of Your Dash, he explains certain principles which we may have heard of before, but it's important that we keep hearing about them and following certain principles in our life so that we can actually become the master of our life. I don't know whether I told this before. In Sanskrit, I don't know whether I mentioned this last class. In Sanskrit, there are two words. One is called Goswami and one is called Godas. Did I mention this last time?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it. So there's a connection between last class and this class. So who is a Godas? Anyone remembers? And who is a Goswami? Anyone remembers? No? Remember? Yeah, please tell.
Who is the master of the house is a Goswami.
Master of?
All your vices.
Yeah, correct. Good. Asking questions sometimes is important to find out how attentive students are. Yeah. So basically, go, Sanskrit word go, not the English word go. Sanskrit word go has two meanings. One refers to cows. Cow is called go, na? You say go mata, right? So cow is called go. Our senses are also called go. We have senses, na? Eyes, nose, ears, tongue. These are the different senses. So Godas means one who is servant of his senses and mind. And Goswami means one who is the controller or the master. So in life, if life is a journey, if you want to reach a certain beautiful destination, it's important that the vehicle is in our control. If the vehicle is not in our control, the steering wheel is with the mind, we will not get to where we want, we will get to where the mind takes us. So it's important that we take control of the steering of our life. So in this particular book, Peter Burwash touches upon certain very, very important points, very essential principles. Okay, so the title of this book I told you is Becoming the Master of Your Dash. When we hear the word dash, what does this dash refer to? When have we ever come across this word dash in English? Huh? Yeah. There are two understandings. One is a running race is also called a dash, isn't it? You say 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash. So life is also like a race that we have to win, we have to become successful. That's one understanding, becoming the master of your dash. The other understanding that he gives here is something very beautiful. None of us might have ever thought about life in this way. So life can be, you can have different ways in which or different definitions of what life is. What is life in essence? We have a birth date, birth year, right? We are all born in a particular year. And when someone passes away, there's a year in which he's passed away. Between both, there is a dash. If you have ever seen anyone's graveyard or anything, historical person, so-and-so, Mahatma Gandhi, in bracket you will have born on this year, left on in this year, and in between that is that dash. So ultimately life boils down to that one little dash. That's what our life is going to be. But that dash can be lived very beautifully also. One of our devotees explained, another definition of life is a segment BD. What is BD? Life starts with birth and ends with death. Both these points are fixed. Point B is fixed and point D is fixed. When it has to come, it will come. We don't have control of B, we don't have control of D. But between B and D is the letter C, and C refers to choice. So life basically is a set of choices we make. Whether we want to remain positive, we want to remain negative, whether we want to remain critical, whether we want to remain grateful, that's how our life is going to get defined. So in this beautiful book, he explains about various principles that can improve, enhance the journey of our life. The first principle that he speaks about, and it's an important principle, is the principle of being grateful. It's such an important principle in life, being grateful. The nature of our mind is to complain. We love complaining. People can speak about their problems on and on and on with great excitement. They can just keep speaking and speaking. That means you are actually loving your problem in a subconscious way. When you keep loving to keep speaking about your problems, you are actually further strengthening those problems in your life. So we all have issues in life. There's no one in this world who doesn't have a problem. Everyone does have a problem. But it's important what we choose to focus on is what our life, the experience of our life is going to be. If we choose to focus on things that are missing in our life, if we choose to focus on the problems in life, those things will grow. But if we choose to focus on the blessings in life, those things will grow. So God has given us so many blessings. But we are always in this mood of complaining. We are not able to appreciate what we have. Everything in life is a blessing. Having life itself is a blessing. How many people in this world might have not seen today's day? They might have just left in the night. We are woken up in the day. That itself is a blessing. We are living with beautiful people. We have food to eat. There are so many people in this world who don't even have food to eat. So we complain of the quality of food that we get. But there are so many people out there who really don't have that kind of food to eat. They don't have those kind of clothes to wear. So being grateful is a sign of a cultured and evolved person. Bhagavatam, one of our great scriptures, explains, Brahmaji, who is a great authority, who is the one who has written the Vedas, he explains a very beautiful shloka in his prayer to Lord Krishna. He says, Tatte anukampat sumikshamano Bunjana evatma kritam vipabhi Ridva gopubir vidadam namaste Jivet yo mukti sadhai bhag. So Brahmaji says, anyone who learns to fold his hands and thank God for everything that God does in our life, the good things and even the sufferings that come in life, because nothing comes in life without a reason. There is a reason for something. At that point we may not be able to understand it, but we need to have faith that there is some higher plan unfolding. So when we offer such prayers to God, being thankful for everything that comes in our life, Lord Brahma says such a person can inherit the spiritual world, not a person who keeps complaining. In English there is a saying, it is not the happy people who are grateful, it is the grateful people who are happy. Many times we feel that I will be grateful when everything is perfect in life. But it's the other way around. When you learn this quality of gratitude, when we practice the quality of gratitude, automatically we become happy. Otherwise, you have been so many examples in this world. People who have so many facilities, still because they are focusing on what they don't have, they are still not happy, still not complete, still not satisfied. So when we focus on what we have, the blessings that we have, those blessings grow actually. So it's very important that we have a sense of gratitude in life, this attitude of gratitude, and at least towards the end of the day, if not the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month, if not at least the end of the year, list out the things that we have to be grateful for. If we keep writing down, we will be amazed so many things we can be grateful for. Any one person who has spoken something good to you, we can be grateful to them. right? Any food that we have got, anything that, any experience that we have got that is beautiful, the satsang, all these things are something that is beyond our imagination. So when we practice this quality of gratitude, we actually evolve in life. So this one practice can actually change the mindsets that we have, change the experience that we have, and it can actually dissolve the problems that we have. There are people who have written books, self-help books on gratitude. Just by following this one principle of gratitude, all our problems can actually go away. So this is the first principle that he talks about in this book, which is very important to enhance the journey of our life, the principle of gratitude, being grateful. Second very important principle is called simple living, high thinking. What it is called? Simple living, high thinking. The problem in today's world is simply living, hardly thinking. People are simply living. You ask them what is their purpose in life, what is their goal in life, no idea. Hardly thinking about anything. Animal life, that's fine. Simply living, hardly thinking. Human life is meant to think, use our intelligence. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Ask some smart, higher questions. So for that, in order to think high, it's also important that we simplify our life. When our life is too complicated with so many things that we have to do, cluttered around completely, very difficult to have that bandwidth, that space to think about something higher. Satsangs like this are opportunities for us to slow down and think. Otherwise, when is the time when we reflect on our life, think about life, what is the purpose of our life? So this is where satsang is come in place. So therefore in scriptures, you have a term called swadhyaya. I spoke about this before. Swadhyaya means self-study. We are busy studying the world out there. How much time do we study ourselves? Study our own consciousness, study our own Atma, understand scriptures. What is the purpose of life? This is what the purpose of life is. Abraham Lincoln, one time he was asked, if you get 1 hour to cut a tree, what will you do? He said, 45 minutes I will sharpen the axe and 15 minutes I will cut the tree. So the point is, investing time in understanding scriptures, in reflecting about life, pausing, taking that break is very important. They say that before a breakdown comes, take a break. If you don't take a break and invest in these things, definitely there is going to be a breakdown. So simplifying our life, right? Reducing, it's definitely we have to work for whatever we need in life, but there is no end to the wants. So we have to learn to differentiate between what is a need and what is a want. Because wants, you keep fulfilling, the wants are going to keep increasing more and more, and you will eternally remain a slave. There was one person who said, what is today's world? The irony in today's world is very interesting. You buy things that you don't need. Okay? You buy things that you don't need to impress people that you don't like with money that you don't have. Credit card. So you buy things that you don't need, and why do we buy them? Just to impress people who we anyway don't like, and they also don't like us, and with money that we don't have. So we have to be very careful. What we need, we buy. Living life simple is something that's very, very important. Ratan Tata, who just left his body some time ago, people respect him because they lived quite a simple and a humble life. So living a simple life is actually very, very easy. Gopal was making this very interesting point. How life becomes complicated. Every day in the morning, everyone has a decision to make. What kind of dress to wear. For us brahmacharis, we don't have a decision to make. Life is simple. Dress is fixed. No worry. What hairstyle, what dress is fixed. So much of energy is saved in using it for something else. Some time ago, a couple of years ago, my mobile got spoiled, and I wanted to buy a new mobile. I went into a shop. There were so many varieties of mobile. I literally lost 2-3 hours in choosing which mobile. And I came back. I said, I don't want a mobile only. Finally, someone gave me some mobile. I said, good. So we lose so much energy in choosing. This is called decision fatigue. In small, small decisions, we waste so much time. That's why the most super successful people don't waste time in silly decisions. Someone chooses their dress, they just wear it and go. Probably they'll wear the same dress every time because they are focusing on something bigger. If we get caught up in these small puddles in life, we will not be able to cross oceans. So it's very important that we simplify life as far as possible. Definitely everyone has different levels of comfort. That's definitely allowed. But the principle is important. The application may vary according to person, but the principle is living a simple life. One time, someone went to a sadhu, right? And the sadhu was living in a small cottage. And this person who had come to visit the sadhu was like a very rich guy. So he went to the sadhu's hermitage and there was only mats everywhere, no sofa set. So this person told the sadhu, you are living like a very humble life. You don't have a sofa. So the sadhu told him, I'm sorry, there is no comfort for you. This person said, I'm not asking about me. I'm just a guest here. I'm asking about you. You stay in this room. You don't even have a sofa. So the sadhu said, I am also a guest here. Ultimately, we are all guests in this world, right? Isn't it? We all have a short life here in this world. So living life very simple is something that is very, very crucial. Simplify your life so that there is more time for higher things in life. If a life is so complicated, so busy, there is no time to read scriptures, no time to chant, no time to do all this. At the end, we'll have a lot of regret that we have wasted our life and not prioritizing the right thing. So this is the second principle called simple living, high thinking. Third principle, which I already mentioned a little, the best things in life aren't things. So things, can give us some satisfaction to some extent, but what actually satisfies our heart is relationships. Imagine you are the king of this entire world. The entire world belongs to you, but you are the only one in this world. Will you be happy? Will you be happy? No. The point is, we would prefer a life which is more simple, but at least there should be someone who we can share our love and experience with. So relationship is something that is very, very important. Radhanath Swami Maharaj, my spiritual master, he always mentions this point. The irony in today's world is people, generally we are supposed to love people and use things. That's what we are supposed to do, isn't it? Love people and use things. But in today's world, we get so carried away, we start loving things and using people to get those things. This is the biggest problem in this world. We start to use people and we start to dovetail our love to things. So it's very important that we understand that relationships are the core. If you want like a very good experience of life, investing in good relationships, meaningful relationships, based on seva, based on helping each other. That kind of relationship is actually what is ultimately satisfying. Rest, everything will just pass and go. The next important principle, connecting back with the principle of relationship, is with whom you associate, you become. So very careful to choose what our association is. Ultimately, we are all social beings. We all have to socialize. We all have to associate. But it's also crucial that whom we choose our associates to be. They say, if you want to find out who a person is, find out who his 5 best friends are. Finish. Average of 5 of them is what this guy is. So we are all the product of the association that we have. So the 5 people that we associate with the most closest to, or the 5 people whom we take inspiration from, if these are all great personalities who have great character, a great life, we will also become great. If these 5 people are people who have a very self-centered life, very egoistic life, those qualities are going to very much reflect in our life. And the scriptures are filled with stories like this. Filled with n number of stories. In the Ramayana, you have these 2 brothers, Vali and Sugriv. I think I've spoken this quite some time for you all. Vali associated with Ravan, he became like that. Even though he had a divine potential. Sugriv associated with Hanuman, he also became like that. He became a great devotee of the Lord. So whom we associate is very, very crucial. The scriptures say, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kahe, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So the scriptures mention this point. The essence of everything is Sadhu Sangha. Someone who is completely sinful and demonic, he comes in right association, he can become a good devotee. But someone who is very, very pious, very good background, he starts to associate with wrong people, very soon he is going to follow the path. So none of us are either good or bad. We are all products of our association. If we associate with good people, we are going to become like that. If we associate with bad people, we are going to become like that. So whom we associate with is crucial. You see, when we are born, none of us have choice of parents. Did we choose our parents, where to be born from? That choice we don't have. But we definitely have a choice of who our friends are going to be. That choice is ours. So we need to choose friends wisely. Duryodhan chose to take counsel from Shakuni, he messed up his life. Arjuna chose to take counsel from Krishna, his life became perfect. So who is our guide, who is our coach is something that is very, very important. To associate with devotees who can actually cultivate these divine qualities in us is very, very crucial. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada established the society called ISKCON. Prabhupada in one of his books he explains, in today's world you have so many societies out there. Na? You have Lions Club, Rotary Club, you have like n number of societies. Because everyone likes to socialize. You have business clubs, BNI, and you have so many things that go on in this world. So Prabhupada said, let me create a society where people will come and inspire each other on the spiritual path. We all need that kind of inspiration. So this satsang is something like that can actually inspire us in a spiritual direction. So association with the right kind of people is very, very crucial. The next principle is also very important. It is the principle of taking care of our own body. Even though we are spirit, Atma, but we have a body, it's very important that we take care of this body. Right? Many times our moods very much depend on what our health is. Right? Spending time in doing yoga or running or exercise is very important so that we can be very, very grounded. Many people who get into this habit of overeating and all this is because they don't have a habit of they have not found their taste in yoga, exercises and other things. If you find the taste in these things, you can actually become better. So therefore the principle of fasting also timely, as much as needed, reduce the needs of the body so that the body can run more. Just like a car engine, every now and then the car engine needs a brake. Right? So similarly our system is like an engine. So every now and then alternate fastings can actually help. So therefore in our Vedic scriptures you have fasting on the tithis of Ekadashi. Once in 15 days Ekadashi tithi comes. So that is the time where you cut down the needs of the body and spend more time on the needs of the soul. See how much of our time goes in food. So much of energy goes in food. The 3 times, what to eat, this, that. If you can simplify this one aspect a little, at least some days in the month, you can have a lot of time to actually focus on spiritual life and your body can get much, much better. So this is another very important principle, taking care of the body, whatever yoga, exercise, whatever is needed so that the body can be good. The next very important aspect that he speaks about is very, very crucial. He says, plant trees under whose shade you do not plan to sit. Think about it. What is the purpose of life? If you actually want to experience a beautiful life, this should be the mode. To plant trees under whose shade we do not plan to sit. For a tree to grow, it takes years and years. In Aldia, you may have so many trees here. Someone might have planted the trees. He is not experiencing that shade, but we are experiencing it. If that guy who planted that tree was thinking, I will not experience the shade, let me not plant, then there will never be shade anywhere. Whatever trees are there in this world is because someone planted them thinking about the future generation, thinking about the aspect of service to others. This is something that is so crucial, which many times we miss. We live a life of so much selfishness that we feel that anything that I do, it has to benefit me. We will never do anything, very calculative in doing everything. But life doesn't work like that. Great people are not calculative. Great people think in terms of service to others. So when you are very calculative in life, that's what you will get. But when you live life in a very selfless spirit, you will get beyond your calculations. God's calculations are much beyond our own calculations. So there is a saying in Chinese, a Chinese proverb, very interesting. It says, if you want to be happy for 1 hour, what is the best thing to do? Go to sleep. If you want to be happy for 1 hour, best thing is go to sleep. If you want to be happy for 1 day, go out for a picnic, go out to the mountains, whatever. If you want to be happy for, this is a Chinese proverb, it's not me saying, before I explain the next part. It says, if you want to be happy for 1 month, get married. And then it says, if you want to be happy forever, serve others. This is where real happiness is. This is where real happiness. And once someone gets this taste of service to others, it's an addiction. It's an addiction. And this addiction can save you from so many other wrong addictions. So it's very important that we remove ourselves from the center and keep service to the others as the center. When we do that, there is so many miracles that come. And there are n number of examples historically in scriptures to extol this principle of service, selfless service. In the Ramayana, the story of Ramayana, in short, something like this. We all know the father of Lord Ram was Dasharath. But Dasharath, before he had sons, before he had Ram as his son, he had a daughter called Shanta. He had one of his best friend called Romapad. And Romapad, his best friend, didn't have any children either. So Dasharath was thinking, probably in future I'll get children. Let me give my daughter to Romapad. So thinking about his friend, he said, Romapad, you raise my daughter as your daughter. So Romapad started to raise Shanta as his daughter. This Shanta, this girl, got married to a rishi called Rishi Shringa. And this Rishi Shringa Rishi comes to Dasharath and does the Putra Kameshti Yagya. And through that Putra Kameshti Yagya, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna are born. So the point is, because he thought about someone else first, in his life, Lord Ram came. God came back in his life in a very beautiful form. Same in the Ramayana, when Dasharath is thinking about the marriage of Ram, he's just thinking that now Ram is like grown up, we have to get him married. Right at that time, Vishwamitra Muni enters. And Vishwamitra tells Dasharath, I want your son Ram to help me fight with some demons. So Dasharath didn't want to give his son. Ram was just a young lad. But still, he had to serve his rishi. So he told, "Okay, you take Dasharath, you take Lord Ram." So Vishwamitra took Lord Ram. Lord Ram killed these demons. And it is Vishwamitra who got Ram married to Sita. And not only Ram married to Sita, he got Sita's other sisters married to the 3 other brothers of Ram. Dasharath was thinking about one marriage because he did service to someone without thinking about his own selfish desires. What he got in return is unlimited times more. So this is the principle that, when we try to help others, that help comes back to us in n number of ways. May not be through that same channel, but so many channels of help actually open up. The best example that I really love is, there are these 2 seas. One is called the Dead Sea and the other is called the Sea of Galilee. Have you all heard about this? The river Jordan, it gives water to these 2 seas, the Dead Sea and the Sea of Galilee. And something interesting is, both these bodies of water get water from the same river Jordan. But the Dead Sea has no life. Nothing grows there. The whole water is acidic. But the Sea of Galilee is thriving with life. What is the difference? Why is one dead, one water dead, one water alive? The difference is, both of them get water from the same river, But the sea, Dead Sea doesn't have a source to give out water. It takes water, it doesn't give out water. All the water literally rots and becomes very, very acidic. But the Sea of Galilee is alive because it gets water and gives water. A well, if you have any experience of well, a well, if you don't use the water will get spoiled gradually. So being of use to others is very important if you want to experience life fully. Life in its fullness, if you have to experience, then this principle of service, seva, selflessness is so very, very crucial. One time there was one carpenter who worked 40 years for his master. He was like fed up of working. So he finally went and told his master that, I just want retirement. So the master told him, see, you have worked so long, make one last house and then you retire. So this fellow said, anyway, I have to retire now, this master has requested this, let me make one house. But because his heart was already out of the job, he did a very flimsy work in that. He used the cheapest material, he didn't put his heart in it. And finally he goes to the master and gives the key and tells him, take this house, please free me. The master tells him, see, you have worked 40 years for me. This house is a gift to you. Keep the key. So that time this person started to think, if I had known this before, that this is my house, I would have put so much heart in it. Because I was thinking, this is this guy's house, I didn't put my heart in it. So we need to understand every action that we do, ultimately we are only going to reside in that. We are only going to reside in that house. So anything that we do for others, whatever it comes, if we do it nicely, ultimate beneficiary is going to be we only. We are only going to gain. So this is a very, very important principle. Plant trees under whose shade you do not plan to sit. The next principle he says is, don't let yesterday use up too much of today. Definitely, we all have our own experiences of the past. And as I told you, past cannot be changed. We can just learn a lesson from the past, but we cannot keep going and keep thinking about the past again and again. There are so many people, we had a session on forgiveness. We were discussing this point that time. There are so many people, something that has happened to them 20 years ago, they keep speaking about that again and again. That means 20 years have passed, but mentally they are stuck in that point only. They have not moved ahead in life. So what is gone is gone. Learn your lessons. You might have definitely felt hurt, but then if you carry that hurt throughout, you're going to mess up the present and you're going to mess up the future. So what has happened in the past, just let it go. Let that baggage go so that you're free, liberated to experience the present. Another very important principle, just few more. He says, life never goes in a straight line, nor should it. So we should remember that in life, problems are definitely going to come. It's inevitable. Whether you practice spiritual life or not, the nature of this world is dukhalyam ashashvatam. Problems are going to come. But we need to take the problems with a pinch of salt. We have to learn to deal with the problems properly. In scriptures, you will find examples of great devotees like Pandavas and so many personalities who went through problems. But they faced the problems in a beautiful way. The example of Lord Ram, when Lord Ram was sent to the forest for 14 years, exile. And what was his fault? No fault. No fault of his. Kaikeyi conspired and sent Ram to the forest for 14 years. But Lord Ram was not negative. He was thinking that my mother, my stepmother is my well-wisher, because she has given me a break. And Lord Ram took those 14 years as 14 years of education. He met so many sadhus on the way. He learned so many things. He met and made so many friends with Sugriv, Vibhishan and so many monkeys. So Lord Ram always felt that he gained. So any problem that we see, we can always look at the silver lining, because everything, there is a lesson that is hidden behind it. If we cry too much when a problem comes, a door may be open, we may not even recognize that. So lamentation is there, crying is there, but then we need to look what are the opportunities that are waiting for us. And there are, when one door closes, many doors open up. But the problem is, we keep looking at that door, that door has closed, that door has closed. We are not able to look at the doors that are open. The door is closed, forget it. Look in the other direction, we'll find many, many doors opening up. Right? So it's very important we understand that life never grows in a straight line. There will be ups and downs, whether you practice spiritual life or not. Spiritual life, our prayer to God is not that God, take away all the problems. Our prayer to God is, God, give me the strength to deal with problems. That should be a prayer to God. We are not cowards to run away. We have to learn to look up for strength. And therefore, the last principle is to connect to God. Never forget to look up. This is a very, very important principle. Trusting God's plan for us. Having faith in God. So when we practice spiritual life, especially when we read Gita, Bhagavad, when we read these books and when we study the life of great devotees, whether it is Tukaram Maharaj, whether it is the Pandavas, Kunti, Draupadi, all these great personalities, they went through their own share of problems. But through all the problems, they evolved because they used every opportunity as an opportunity to connect with God. Every failure they use as a stepping stone to go towards success. So we are going to have our own issues in life, definitely, which will inevitably come. But if we follow this one principle of connecting with Krishna, whatever happens, Sukhe Dukhe Bhule Nago Vadane Harinam Bolo Re. In happiness or in distress, in good times or bad times, every time should be a chanting time. The problem with us is, when there is bad time, we give up bhakti to God. When there is too much happiness, we give up bhakti to God. These both are tests. In all this, what is most important is to maintain that connection. If that connection is strongly maintained, then a life is like super successful. We will actually be very, very peaceful, very blissful, very, very happy. So these are some of the thoughts I had. I thought I would like to share on this occasion. Some principles that we can actually meditate and follow on. Simple things, but ultimate solution lies in simple things only. Right? Simple things actually can make a big difference. The principle of gratitude, the principle of associating with the right people, the principle of seva, and the principle of connecting back to God, through the process of chanting Hare Krishna, satsangs like this, can actually make a lot of difference in life. Thank you. Once again, wishing Sir a happy 70th birthday, and our prayers to Lord Krishna for your long life, healthy life. Hare Krishna. Anyone has any questions, any comments?
I always have to say something. So, this is a good opportunity for Gita and Abhishek to work with them. So,